In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs. Oh! And this is what's happening. Dogs. People on television.
There have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, some people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
but
television.
The people on television say my dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs. And this is what's happening. People on television. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating. Are you fucking kidding me? People on television say my dog was taken.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the following program. I'm your host, Joe Neerman, a.k.a. Good Lawgic, coming in hot. That song was created and mixed by this group here, Megaphonics. Not too happy. They created it to mock Donald Trump, and the right has completely embraced it. The whole mix was put together by them to try and make fun of Trump, and it's taken over TikTok, that song. It's gone viral beyond belief, and the right is loving it. They're loving it. And part of the reason, part of the reason is because every day his claim seems more and more credible, much more credible. Like, they are eating the dogs, they are eating the cats. I introduced this story as like, I don't know what this is. I think I covered this in the beginning of the week. Before he said it, I was like, I think it was Monday night. I said, I don't know what to make out of this story that's going around. And then when he raised it, in the debate, I was just like, oh God, no. Why would you do this, Donald? Why would you do this to us? We believed in you so much. We believed in you. Why would you mention the dogs and cats in Springfield? There's so many different ways to go. Look, this is the difference between me and Donald Trump. You want to know? I'm going to tell you the difference between me and Donald Trump. It's an interesting life lesson. The difference between me and Donald Trump is I would have prepped for that conversation. You know they're going to bring up the border. Obviously, you want them to bring up the border. This is like, out of the park area. I'm going to keep doing that until I get right. Maybe I won't. So if I was Donald Trump's prep team, I would say to Donald Trump, I would have said, Donald Trump, look, you want to know what resonates? You're talking about the border. You're talking about how it affects the economy and stuff like that. When you're talking about the border, you know what you want to be saying a lot of? Laken Riley. It's not just, some innocent poor girl whose life was ended by some butcher who is here illegally. It's a story that all Americans are familiar with. You say the name, and everyone's like, yeah, wow. It goes further than that, because you may not be familiar with this, but the House put forward the Laken Riley Act, and it passed in the House. You want to know what the Laken Riley Act is? You're familiar with the Laken Riley Act? Because I'll tell you what the Laken Riley Act is. The Laken Riley Act is very simple. It's not one of these pork bills. Very short. All it says is that if you have someone crossing the border who's known has a history of committing violent crimes, that person has to be detained and held and cannot just be admitted into the country. Could you possibly have a more common sense? Why would you let this person in? What are you thinking? Like, you want to tell us that, they're not bringing in the murders, the rapists? It's common sense. It's common sense. Violent persons known to be violent coming across our borders illegally, maybe we should keep them out. I don't know. It's not like this is like a hard thing. This is something that any common sense American would say, mea chuz, 100%, 1,000%, over and over and over again. Obviously, hello, why would you want to let a crazy person who's committed violence before come in here? At least hold them. Hold. You would think everyone in Congress would be like, yeah, okay. That's not a bridge too far for me to go. No, it's not the law. You want to know why it's not the law? And this is what Donald Trump should have said, would have said, I would have said, I would have been yelling at him. You bring up Laken Riley, and then you say the House passed the Laken Riley Act. And the whole purpose of the act is to keep violent people out of this country. And the only reason it's not the law is because the Senate, yes, where Kamala Harris is the president of the Senate, and the president of the Senate and her fellow Democrats said, no, we need to allow violent people to keep on streaming up through here because we want more Laken Rileys. I mean, is there any person who is more ripe to get a powerhouse in the face for the death of the Lincoln Riley bill than the president of the Senate, the Democratic president of the Senate? Because if she went along with it, that would be the law now. The only reason these violent people are here now and continuing to come across our borders is because Kamala Harris, says we must allow violent people to keep on streaming on in here. To me, that's like a death blow. If you're sitting there as a Democrat, you're like, oh my God. She's going to secure the border? She's the one who wants violent people in here. She's the one who said, no, we can't have a law in there that's going to detain violent people. I mean, it's killer. It's lethal. And that's where I've been like, just bring up the Laken Riley Act. Explain to the crowd, to the audience, what the Laken Riley Act. It's very short. Just keep out violent criminals. And come on. That's devastation. It's like Mortal Kombat. Like,
lethal blow.
It's death. I mean, you would think that's it. That's it. Why would he not bring that up? She's bringing up bills that he's killing. I wish he would have explained why he killed that bill. He should have explained why he killed that bill and then explained which bills she's killing. Huh. No. That's not what he responded. That's not what he responded. No. What's he responding?
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating.
He's saying they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Which I'm like, instead of giving them a fatality, instead of giving her a fatality, he starts going in Springfield. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. I mean, come on. How do you completely whiff on it that much? That's what I thought. And today he proved me wrong. I guess. Today he showed, I said, this is the difference between me and Donald Trump. Because me, I talk about the Lake and Riley Act. Me, I'd be like, why would anyone think she's protecting the border when she wants violent people in here? Just ask yourself, what the hell is happening here? That's me. Him, he's like, they're killing the dogs, they're killing the cats, they're killing your pets, they're hanging them up, they're eating them. It's craziness. And what happens is it becomes a thing that this debate pretty much becomes known for. If you're on social media today, I'm going to share with you. You have no idea how, if you're not on social media, you have no idea how viral this thing has become. And I was on a space with George Santos today. George Santos has become a very good fan of the show. He might even be watching right now. George Santos was, and he made a very fair point, which is there's no such thing as bad PR. Ain't no such thing as bad PR. There ain't. Ain't no such thing as bad PR. And now you have all these kids on TikTok who are sitting there making one video after another about how they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. I mean, look.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the
one
cats.
After
eat
another.
The cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
This
They're
is what
eating
TikTok
the dogs.
is, which,
They're
by the way,
eating the dogs.
is why no children should ever be on TikTok. Seriously. Seriously.
They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat
Everything.
The cat. They're eating the dogs.
Everything is, I mean, one viral video after another. Eat the cat, eat the cat.
They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the
one
cats.
after another. It just goes on and on. Each one of them gyrating their pelvises in ways that are somewhat disturbing. So I'm not even going to go through the rest of them because it's just a montage of just disturbing imagery. Frankly, should not be online. But the point being, it worked. It worked. That's all anyone's talking about. That's all anyone's talking about. And you might say to yourself, that's people talking and making fun of him. And you'd be correct to a degree. Because as we're about to see, this has become something that's been gaining stronger and stronger legs. More and more people are starting to recognize they probably are eating the dogs. They probably are eating the cats. And the left is trying to scream, fake news, fake news, fake news. But the more news that comes out, the more it's like, oh my God, they're really eating the dogs. eating the cats. They're eating the freaking cats. What the heck is happening here? They're eating the pets in Springfield, Ohio. So all these people on the left who are trying to make fun of him that he's some crazy lunatic, and let's tease him by saying they're eating the cats, like he's Chicken Little who's running around without his head with his head cut off. All of them are basically are starting to look more and more foolish as there's more and more evidence, indeed, that they are eating the dogs, they are eating the cats. It's not something that's a crazy thought. It's not some sort of lunatic perspective that's what's happening here. No, it's actually kind of real. It's kind of real. Want some evidence of that? Let's go through some evidence of that. Well, the Ohio AG came out yesterday saying, I think they are eating the dogs. Ohio Attorney General David Yost on Wednesday accused the media of ignoring evidence surrounding claims Springfield, Ohio residents are having their pets abducted and eaten. Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio on Tuesday shared his office had received reports that household pets in Springfield, Ohio, quote, were abducted by Haitian migrants. The senator noted that he could not verify these claims, but attributed several tragedies to the arrival of immigrants. The Republican vice presidential nominee juxtaposed this with the Biden administration's border practices. Quote, do you know what's confirmed, he asked via X? That a child was murdered by a Haitian migrant who had no right to be here. That local health services had been overwhelmed. That communicable diseases like TB and HIV have been on the rise. That local schools have struggled to keep up with newcomers who don't know English. That rents have risen so fast that many Springfield families can't afford to put a roof over their head. Springfield residents testified about the situation during a city commission meeting Tuesday. Quote, we have national attention now over alleged people eating cats. A resident identified by the council as Barron said, I look on the menu of 3 or 4 restaurants here today, man. I don't see roasted fluffy nowhere on it. It's nuts. Okay. The good thing is we had the nation's attention, he added. What are we going to do with it? Yost took to X to condemn the media for overlooking these remarks after former President Trump mentioned the rumors during Tuesday night's presidential debate. Quote, there's a recorded police call from a witness who saw immigrants capturing geese for food in Springfield, he said. Citizens testified to city council. These people would be competent witnesses in court. Why does the media find a carefully worded City Hall press release better evidence? Reacting to the post was Representative Matt Gaetz, who shared an image of a goose holding a sign reading, geese can be pets, because that's what one claim that is verifiable definitely happened. So maybe they are pets. Migration has been a point of concern in Springfield for the past several weeks. Residents have spoken about the issue at several recent city commission meetings, with some claiming they feel unsafe as a result of the immigrant influx. Quote, I have men that cannot speak English in my front yard screaming at me, throwing mattresses in my front yard, throwing trash in my front yard, one resident said during an August 13 meeting. Springfield Mayor Rob Rue on Tuesday rejected claims of migrants eating residents' pets, saying this city has not, quote, been able to verify any credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community. So the point being here, even Ohio AG is like, there's some sort of legitimacy here. And then you get posts that start going kind of viral. And when I say kind of viral, I mean, this is what's being shared by none other than Elon Musk. This post right here, 2-minute story from the daughter of a Haitian. Purportedly, that's what she claims. Let's hear her story.
My father immigrated from Haiti to the United States in the late 60s.
We'll make this a little louder because I know that some of y'all got like issues where you need to hear the videos I play. So demanding.
My father immigrated from Haiti to the United States in the late 60s as a teenager. And I want to talk about these recent comments about the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio. First, I want to say my father and I are now estranged, but I did know him. in my very, very young years. And when he immigrated, he was one person, and they weren't sending, thousands of Haitians in one area. He wasn't eating people's pets, and he didn't practice voodoo. But he did say that most of the island, the majority of the island, does practice voodoo. The reason they eat cats is for two reasons. Number one is survival. This is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. You can't just go to a food bank like you can here, or just go to McDonald's and get some free or cheap food, unless, of course, there's a Christian missionary there. People in the United States have a really hard time imagining that type of thing, but it is true. Second, they do animal sacrifices for their religion, voodoo. They make these animal sacrifices to these gods for different reasons. You can do your own research on this. Do I think voodoo is a demonic religion? Yes, I do. That doesn't mean that you hate these people. These people need prayer. But you can't just take over all these people from another country and expect it to work. Not to mention, it doesn't fix the problems of that country. And there's more people left in Haiti that we can bring over. It's not racist to acknowledge that this is a problem. It's not racist to talk about these things that are happening. This is not just white Americans saying this is Black Americans. You can look at the people in Springfield, Ohio saying that this is happening. Y'all just want to joke about Trump and say that he's crazy for saying that this is happening, instead of actually checking at all to see if this is happening. You want to make jokes about these things. Well, what if it were happening to you and your community? And no, it's beyond eating their pets, even though that is bad enough.
Well, there you go. There you go. Elon Musk tweeting that out. How many times has that been viewed? How many? Oh, okay. Well, that's only had 31.2 million views. There you go. There you go. And then you have the Cope. The Cope. Catch Up is run by a person who's worked for Russian state-run media. Do you realize this? Yeah. So wait. Is the thought process that Russia is trying to bother us by making us not have more immigrants? Like, that's the thought process? I guess the thought process is that Putin really wants Trump to win and that it's humiliating. Perhaps that's what he means, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, Brian. I don't know, Brian. Got a little more on that story soon, but first let me catch some of these chats here. Muffin Radio member for 5 months. Where is Sally Struthers now for these animals? God only knows. Nobody knows where are you, Sally? Where are you? Where are you? Aren't you worried about the poor animals? Aren't you worried about little Rusty? Aren't you worried about Patches? Aren't you worried about Muffin Hands turning into Muffin Top Hands? Aren't you? Aren't you? No? Aren't you worried about little Mittens? Come on, Sally. Come on, little Mittens. Little Mittens. Instead of a couple months from now, instead of singing chestnuts roasting on an open fire, it'll be like Cheshire Cat. Was that too far? Did I push it too far? I might have pushed that one too far. Might have. Come on, Sally. Where are you? I think that one I might have pushed too far. Need an update on your Trump gag lawsuit. P.S. Don't eat the kitty. P.S.S. Robert Barnes himself told Trump to bring up the eating of the cats and dogs. Winner of the viral moment wins the voters. Maybe. I don't know. Could be. I wish Robert Barnes himself would have told him to bring up the Lake and Riley Act. The Lake and Riley Act is. You could have brought both. You could have said both. I just think the Lake and Riley Act that's a fatality right there. And then you got your viral moment afterwards. There's no reason not to bring up the Lake and Riley Act. The story behind it is heartwarming. Everything. I told you it was true. 25 minutes in Springfield. I wouldn't steer you wrong, Joe. Hashtag cats for Trump. Now, it's interesting you phrase that cats for Trump because everyone's familiar. We talked about how, J.D. Vance was critiqued because of his comments about single cat ladies and how unhealthy they are. And when I was on this space with George Santos, someone made a very interesting comment that all of a sudden you take this whole cat ladies for Trump, for cat ladies for Harris thing, and just flip it on its head now. Now, as soon as you hear cats, all you think about is Trump. All you think about is Trump. So that's an interesting philosophy. And I'll tell you, I wouldn't have brought it up. I would have just steered way clear of it. And maybe that's why he's the master marketer. I come at things from a direction of what is the most logical, profound way to attack this argument. And I'll be very analytical, and I'll be like thinking it through. What's a more compelling argument? What's a more compelling claim? And he's sitting there thinking, what will go viral? He's sitting there thinking about the shock value. He's sitting there and he's thinking about, like, this is how people are talking. Was that his objective when he brought it up? The shock value of it certainly was. Did he realize it would go viral? I don't know. But let's put it this way. If he makes something viral and I make something viral, that's him knowing what he's doing and me getting lucky because I clearly have no clue about that sort of thing. So I can admit that Donald Trump is arguably, is the best marketer of the last century. I mean, come on. Everyone knew who he marketed himself into a presidency. He's you want to talk about historic presidencies? Historic in that he's like the champion. He literally marketed himself into becoming president of the United States. 3-time GOP presidential candidate. So you tell me, and I know he's had success. That's why he became the second. He won the nomination for re-election in 2020 and again now in 24. The point being, though, this dude understands marketing, and you'd be hard pressed to come up with anyone else who knows it as well as he does. And I was wrong. That's maybe. I still think you bring up Lake and Riley Act. I still think that you talk about how she stopped that act. I mean, she's the reason violent people are here. That's what you basically portray it. She wants to shut down the border. She talks about that stupid border bill, which was to keep the border open. No, she shut it down. She shut down the Lake and Riley Act to keep our border open. She's part of an administration which is taking Texas to court trying to sue them for closing the border. She's going to shut it down. None of that stuff came. Instead, they're eating the dogs, eating the cats. Eating geese help. That's America cutting a rug. Oh, to the song. Did you see the reception of Biden Harris versus Trump at the firehouse? OMG, songs of Biden Harris, cheers with Trump, then Biden in the MAGA hat. Iconic. I meant to cover Biden in the MAGA hat. I meant to cover that. Did I pull it out? I have it here somewhere. Yesterday, let me see. Someone shared it with me. I'm going to try to remember to cover that. Biden in the Trump hat. The people who were around in 2015-16 know exactly what this is. Memes win. Well, to be fair, memes were pretty dope in 2020 also. And yeah, I know I just dated myself by saying dope. Even worse, they have to eat them. What you did there. Hate to break it to you, Joe, but what Trump highlighted was effective anyway. Illegal immigrant crime is common. Eating dogs gets people's attention. That's my point. My point is he understands marketing far better than I do. So I'm sitting here saying, why are you bringing this up? And he understands it. He gets it. I don't think I'll ever get it to anywhere near the same degree he does. It's frustrating. Not going to kid you. I'm like, really? Why is the public? Why? Why is this like this? But it is. I can't deny the reality. Meowga 2024. Meowga. Feline unemployment rates were the lowest in history under Trump. Catnip is up 235% under Harris. I love it, Nathan. You're of the Ben Shapiro mind that facts don't care about feelings. Trump understands that feelings don't care about facts. People are emotional. Well said. Well said. It's true. It's true. There's a Trump grabbing cats joke somewhere in this. Jimmy Kimmel made one when he basically took that screenshot that I used my thumbnail and he made a comment about him grabbing two. He said, the only thing I believe about this picture, he said, come on, Trump, you're sharing this out here. I'll bet he doesn't realize it's AI. The only thing realistic about this photo is that he's grabbing two cats. Kamala was better as Montel's shoe shiner. No, that's definitely sent it to you on Locals. Where did you send me on Locals? You sent me on Locals. Let me see Locals. Let me check out Locals. I know what Locals is. While you bring that up, I appreciate you bringing that up. Thank you, Mary. After the show, I'm going to have an after-show party on Locals. You'll see the link in the description. I meant to put that link. I meant to put it in the chat. It's not in the chat yet, but it will be. It will be. Where did you send me on Locals? Well, 10 hours ago, you posted "Gotta Listen." He also posted with kids wearing Trump shirts. That's like an hour and 20 long Benny Johnson show. I'm not doing that. You know I'm not doing that. I mean, come on. Come on, I can't do that. I can't do that. Maybe someone shared me. Give me a second. I'll find it here. Janella, Dominicans built a wall all the way across Hispaniola to keep out the horrifically violent Haitian invaders. Guess what? The wall freaking works. And look, I don't want to say that I don't want to endorse a perspective that I think that Haitians are uniquely violent. And I don't think that's what Janella is sitting here, but I can understand how someone would read that this way. I mean, the violent element of the Haitian community, I'm sure. But the point is, it's a matter of saying there are violent folks out there, and we're allowing in millions of people. Some of them are going to be violent. Some of them are. Hey, Joe, where are you going with that gun in your hand? Bum, 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 bum. It appears that the judge in Georgia has just dropped the election cases against Trump. Wait. What? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know what you're trying to say here. If you're talking about the charges that were, I plan on covering that. I plan on covering his decision. Judge McAfee dismissed 3 charges from the indictment, or 2, depending on how you look at it. So, yeah, if that's what you're talking about, Sub-Ohm Circus, member for 5 months, Sub-Ohm Circus, I'll tell you that's what I plan on covering and going to that in great detail how Fannie Willis's case is falling apart. That's actually why I was going into Locals, is because I wanted to share the link in my different descriptions here, so that in my different chats here, so that people could just click it when the show's coming to an end. And that's actually what I'm going to do right now. So let me do that. Let me go into. Let me do that. Let me go into. We'll go into YouTube, and we'll just pin that. go. Where is this? All right. So I'm going to pin this here. I actually put it in chat earlier and then forgot to pin it. So that's not useful. Okay, so that's pinned. And let's share this out over on Rumble also, because the ghetto counts too. RPP says, Joe, as you stated earlier, Trump is a media genius. He announced a new policy today, no taxes on overtime. He just won 40 million libertarian votes. He'll even win Michigan over the cheating, MAGA. I don't know if anyone can win Michigan over the cheating. All right, you want me to check out that thing that you shared with me, Mary? Hold on a second. Let me pull this up here. He should have mentioned the 300,000 kids they lost. This is the sick thing, though. In today's society, so many people care much less about human life than they do about cats. It's just... maybe the kids, maybe that would help. I don't know. Show me your kittens 2024. Show me your kitties? I don't know what you're trying to do there. Also, Benny is Russian propaganda. On a serious note, events led me to look into him. He was fired from previous jobs for plagiarism. Interesting. At the beginning is the video of Biden conversation with MAGA hat. Goes right into Joe posing with kids in Trump shirts. Just scroll through the beginning of the show in the beginning. All right, fine. Fine. I'll pull it up for you. I trust you. I trust you, Mary. I believe in you. Let's run on through here.
And I think she should accept an invitation from Fox to come on and debate President Trump.
President Biden also got in on the campaigning yesterday. There he is wearing a MAGA hat in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, supporting a Trump hat there. The White House says he gave a hat to a Trump supporter and then took and briefly wore his Trump.
Let's find the actual video of that. This is the video.
That in just a second, but now we have clearer video of this that doesn't need AI to sort of break it down, where Joe Biden is putting on the MAGA hat, and we're going to explain like why this is important and what's actually happening here in just a second. But here is the clearer video.
Trump hat, I'll give you my presidential hat. Presidential seal on it. You want to autograph it? Oh, sure, I'll autograph it. Huh?
He's trading hats to get the Trump hat.
Yeah. You remember your name? I don't remember my name. I'm slow. You're old part. You're an old part. Yeah, I know, man. I'm an old guy. And you're an old person. I know you would know about that. What? About being old. Oh, I know. All right. I'm a young timer. It reminds me of the guys I grew up with. There was always one in the neighborhood.
He's so old. He's so old. What are you talking about, Joe? What are you? He reminds me of the guy I grew up in the neighborhood. There's always one in every crowd. There's always what? What about him reminds you?
There you go, man. I need that hat.
Want my autograph?
Hell no.
You know my name.
He actually has personality. That's what he managed to basically he managed to use his personality to become a lifelong politician, ultimately president of the United States. But so he's kind of stupid, but he has personality. And here comes the moment.
Come on.
I ain't going that far.
Yeah.
They asked him to put it on.
I know you would know about that.
What?
About being old.
Oh, I know.
All right.
I'm a young timer.
Trouble. There's always one in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, I'm the only one.
There you go, man. I need that hat.
Want my autograph?
Hell no.
You know my name. Come on.
I ain't going that far.
Yeah. There you go. Hey, I'm proud of you now. Huh?
Just remember, no eating dogs and cats.
Hey, they're good.
Thank you.
They're good. Kentucky
It's like
Fried
20
Chicken.
dogs and cats.
You like the pizza.
Huh?
You guys picked the place again. I don't know where it's not easy.
What an amazing moment. I mean, are we like able to, have we lost all of our humanity? Are we able to see ourselves and our fellow countrymen as human? Yes, there are people who are demons. You'll get that straight dish from this program. I am not trying to humanize the people that are actually for demonic activity, human sacrifice, and so on. But I'm telling you that what you saw there with Joe Biden putting on that hat is not this guy. This was a caricature. This is what they forced Joe Biden to do. Remember the blood red Hitlerian MAGA speech from Joe Biden? Remember this? Where Joe Biden goes off?
Ultra MAGA.
He's in Pennsylvania here.
Ultra
He goes
MAGA.
off for like 90 minutes. And this is, of course, not apologizing for Joe Biden. Joe Biden is, much like Kamala Harris, a creature of a system, a empty husk that has to give things up.
All right, so I'm not going to go through his whole thing here. Here's him with kids, posing with kids. I'm supposed to pull up also. Kids with Trump shirts.
Joking with the kids. I spoke with the mom. I know this. This is like what they've. This is like Joe Biden's like joking, joshing with the kids. There's one of the kids is wearing a shirt that says "Dumb and Dumber" and has Joe Biden's face on it. You know the movie Dumb and Dumber, Jim Carrey. I'm sure Jerry's cooking up memes right now like crazy. Here we go. Here's the shirt. This is what one of the kids was wearing in that photo, and according to the mother, Joe Biden goes over, points at the shirt, and goes, "I guess I'm dumber."
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. You gotta tip your cap and say, you know what? He's someone who can like actually, poke at himself. And that's actually pretty funny.
Come on. That's great.
Kamala doesn't have that. She can't do that. She has no personality. Oh, gosh. The smartest thing a public figure can do is act dumb. Say what you will. He was able to win people for 45 years. Yeah. 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 He was really good at it. He was really good at it. So. Whew. Anyway. I think I had one or two more things having to do with the with this cat story that I wanted to just share with you guys so you can appreciate just how Is this also? Is this part of it? No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. No. Oh, I took care of that. This is the one I wanted. Is this more of it? No, I got this already. I covered that already. All right. I think we're good on the cat story. I think we're good. I think we're good. The point that I'm making out of all this at the end of the day is that Donald Trump is a master marketer. I am 100% not. I gave you the analytical answer that I was like, that delivers a fatality. But here's the reality of the world that I have to accept, though I may not particularly care for this reality, it still is reality. Your voice is only significant if people aren't tuning out. You can make if you make the most profound argument in the world, most powerful, profound argument in the world, and you don't, even if you're talking to people, if they're not listening because they're zoned out, it's like a tree that falls in a forest and no one's around to hear it. But if you can help, what he's able to do is he's able to basically generate mass audience around him. He understands what draws people in. So I can give you the greatest argument in the world about how he should just throw out there and get a fatality against Kamala. And if he says it in a debate, you would think people would listen. Would they be talking about it days, perhaps weeks later? Would it be changing the narrative of the whole thing about cat ladies for Kamala, where now every time it's like, really? Really? You want to talk cats? Is that what you really want to be talking about now? You still want to be talking about cats? And I do think it's hilarious. Benny Johnson is the one who shared out that video that I started with. I opened up the show. If you came late, you missed me opening up the show. And where I was talking about, I knew there was one more thing I wanted to cover here. This is what I wanted to cover here. I knew there's one more video I had for you guys. I was like, well, I didn't remember what it was, but this is the other video I wanted to share with you.
Had over 100 cats in it with the Haitians. They said they was eating them.
Actually?
Yeah.
Not fake news.
Not fake news.
So a van was collecting cats and eating them.
I watched it happen, yeah. Watched them get pulled over with the cats and admit to the police that they was eating them.
You're not joshing with me.
No, I'm almost 50 years old, buddy. No.
You don't mess around.
No.
So there you have it. They fact-checked him on that because of some letters that they got somewhere from a city manager saying, well, we don't believe that's true. Do you think the city manager is going to go out and say, well, that's what's happening? Here's who is saying it. The Attorney General of the state of Ohio. This came out today. Dave Yost is the Attorney General for the state of Ohio, and he accused the media of ignoring evidence surrounding those claims in Springfield that they're having their pets abducted and eaten. The Attorney General of Ohio says it's real.
Had over 100 cats in it with the Haitians. They said.
There you go. There you go. Anyway, so this video that I opened with here was originally shared by Benny. Now I gotta find Benny's Twitter because I used a reshare. Let me find it because in the comments you see Megaphonics, who created that video. Not happy. They're very, very not happy. Very not happy. We'll scroll. You can watch with me. You don't have to just look at my profile. I'll let you watch with me. We're going to talk about Scott McAfee later today. Yeah. Well, this is earth-shattering. Who knew? Who knew? People who are obsessed with celebrities are less intelligent. Really? Really? You need to have a study on that? This was what Megaphonics music, when they saw what happened, said go GFY. They basically quoted Elon Musk. It was Elon Chong. They changed their name to Benny Johnson Can Eat. Megaphonics, because they created that song. Oh my God. They changed their name to Benny Johnson Can Eat Crap.
Again. We will make.
I can't play this song. I know that the YMCA people are gonna like come after me. A little Joe Biden dancing around. I told you this is the greatest time for memes. This is the greatest time for memes. So many memes.
Has now gone thermonuclear viral, been used 10 as Donald Trump is culture. His comment of the debate about eating dogs and cats for criminal aliens in this country has now gone thermonuclear viral, been used 10,000 times in a TikTok trend. He's got remixed into a banger.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat. 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 They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
So there you go. There you go. Oh my God. I never would have come up with this. And Salted Cracker's right. Everything these idiots do make Trump look awesome. Everything they do just make him look awesome. Just one video after another. You got to know marketing. Dang. Speaking of which, let's see. I didn't see that. So we missed it. Like I said, here's another thing. There's a million videos like this also. I forgot to mention this of pets watching the debate. I didn't see this one yet.
Got rejected again by the Supreme Court. So all these students got taunted with this whole thing about this whole idea. And how unfair that would have been.
Oh, this is not the one I was looking for. No, I saw videos of dogs reacting to him saying they're eating the dogs, eating the cats. With like these wide eyes. It's pretty funny. Anyway, okay. I think we had enough of that story. I think you got the point. And he knows what he's doing. I don't know what I'm doing. He knows what he's doing. I also don't know who did this. I should probably get this out of the way also, because some of you probably had not seen this yet. Let's make this louder.
The American people, I believe in what we can do to strengthen our small businesses, which is why I have a plan. Let's talk about our plans and let's compare the plans. I have a plan to give startup businesses $50,000 tax deduction to pursue their ambitions, their innovation, their ideas, their hard work. I have a plan, $6,000 for young families for the first year of your child's life, to help you in that most critical stage of your child's development. I have a plan.
That's harsh.
That is about allowing people to be able to pursue what has been fleeting in terms of the American dream by offering a help with down payment of $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers. That's the kind of conversation, I believe, David, that people really want tonight, as opposed to a conversation that is constantly about belittling.
So there you go. Let me catch up on some of y'all. Freedom Forever. I haven't been around. I've been studying for my CPP PPA certification. I'm taking written on 9/20 and turning practical on October 2nd. Due back October 3rd. I'm going to mark my calendar. And I want to wish you the best of luck, Freedom Forever. Best of luck. Go nail those. And you're right to take some time off. You need to focus on what you need to do. Take the time, do what you got to do. The other night I was telling someone who's a pretty regular listener who's taking the bar. I was like, dude, instead of falling asleep listening to me, fall asleep reading that Barbary book. A couple of pages a night. It's a thick book, like, 400 pages. And the page size is like this. I mean, it's like like this. It's like a freaking phone book. So it takes hours and hours to get through it. Hours and hours, and you got to sort of process your brain to think it through. You spend 45 minutes a night reading that, you pass the bar. 45 minutes a night to an hour, 45 minutes to an hour a night reading it, you pass the bar. It's that simple. You have to process it. You have to think through what they're saying, what the logic is behind the different principles. But once you do that, you're golden. Golden. Body not running can take the stick out of his butt. It's true. It's true. I think that's what Benny Johnson's point was. Trump knows arguing on the merits doesn't work. I guess. He knows best. He knows best. He knows better than I do. I defer. Melanie Heidick. God bless you. 20. I'm going to give you another one. 20 good Lawgic memberships, courtesy of Melanie Heidick. God bless you. Who was gifted? You might say, who was gifted memberships of the following? The following people were gifted memberships. That includes Janelle Arella, Matthew Felty, Queen Olive, Ruth Ann, Judge Maddie, Eric Cush, Chris Kroll. A whole bunch of names here that seem familiar, like Amanda Kay, Catman, Adam Rice, Grateful Ted, Steffi, Penny G, Barnes Homestead, Not That Susan, Criminal Imagination, Dust in the Wind. All we need is dust. David Markham, Cirilla Burnt. I think I got that right. Miss Justice Jones and Spider Girl. All of them brought into the following courtesy of Melanie Heidick. Just saying, get on in here. Now you might say to yourself if you're new, and I know most of you were probably not, but a handful of your names there I haven't seen too often. So you might say to yourself, wait, now I'm a follower? What am I following? I don't even understand what's happening. What's going on here? I'm a follower? I didn't sign up to be. No, you are. You're a follower. But don't worry, I'm not the leader. Everyone knows. It's well known. Joe is not the leader of the following. I am just a host. And the following is not at all a cult. Type of cult. There's no Kool-Aid, no self-harm, no harming others, no throwing virgins into volcanoes, no goat sacrifices, no eating cats, no dancing around bonfires to the beat of a tom-tom while shucking off your clothing, no mandatory tracksuits, mild farm work, no stabbing yourself with the jabby jab. It's in no way, shape, or form is it a cult, type of cult. And it's just about personal growth through community, unity, and leadership training. I know a lot of you think that, hey, that doesn't count for a lot, everything like that. I need more from the following. I need more from the following. I need more. You might be saying that. And I've been thinking about that, and I think it's a fair point. It's a fair point. I'm not doing this tonight, but starting next week, I'm going to basically start doing probably like once a week or so, where I will be extending the show for members only. So, not doing it tonight. Tonight there's actually an after show party on Locals. There's an after show party on Locals, which you come on over there. It's goodlogic.locals.com. The link is pinned in the description. If you're watching after the show, and if you are, please give you a thumbs up and a like. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're watching live now, you'll see it pinned in the comments of the Locals after show, where I'm planning on discussing Fani Willis's case against Donald Trump, which is steadily dying. And we're going to go through that decision from Judge McAfee, who knows? And where he's starting to dismiss some of the claims. They're going down in the claims against Trump are going down in flames. So we're going to go through that on the Locals after show. But starting next week, I am going to be doing a little bit of extended video for here on YouTube. And I know Rumble people can get mad at me for this. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to do that for Rumble. I would be happy to do it for Rumble. I would love to do it for Rumble also. I don't know how to do it for Rumble. I haven't figured that out. I'm kind of slow. If I figure out how to do it for Rumble, I'll do it for Rumble too. But I do plan on having a little bit of an extended show for those for people, for members only, that sometime after midnight I'll turn it over into members only. I'm going to try to do that at least once a week. Anyway, so God bless you right now, Melanie, again, for bringing in those 20 new people who are obviously going to be able to participate in that activity. And welcome to the following. Donald Trump dancing is the best dancing. I don't know if any of you appreciated this, but when I was playing that song in the beginning, which I was using in place of my regular intro, I was doing my best Donald Trump dancing. All the plans are giveaway money we gave in giving away money we gave in taxes. Of course they are. Of course, and they're just gonna have to raise taxes. I have a plan to bleed you dry through taxes. I have a plan. You won't have any money and you'll be happy. That's basically what she's saying. You'll have no money and you'll be happy. All right. Where was we? Okay. There was a video I wanted to share with you guys that I didn't reference in my title or my description here, but I think it's an important thing that's coming up soon that you need to be aware of. Is this it? This is it. Completely unrelated to anything that you're going to see, because I like giving you all some bonus content here, is this breaking story that came today, which is very surprising because this is Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal. I believe is older than he was. He was invented before dirt was invented. He's been around for quite some time. And he has some breaking info that he shared with some reporters today. Just a little 1-minute drive-by comment, which kind of shook some folks up and couldn't come at a better time if you're Donald Trump. No, that's not going to, you're not going to hear that one.
I think the American people are going to be...
We can do better. I think the American people are going to be
shocked, astonished, and appalled by what we will report to them about the failures by the Secret Service in this assassination attempt on the former president. But I think they also ought to be appalled and astonished by the failure of the Department of Homeland Security to be more forthcoming, to be as candid and frank as it should be to them in terms of providing information. And we are going to absolutely insist on the truth and the whole truth in documents and testimony as members of the United States Senate, but also as citizens.
What did you learn new today when you said they're going to be appalled? What
I'm not going to go into what we have learned.
He says Americans are going to be shocked and appalled by what they learn about what our investigation into the Trump assassination has revealed about failures by Secret Service and DHS and how they tried covering up for those failures. So he said, I think America is going to be shocked by how terrible his protection was on July 13th.
I'm giving you my reaction, and we will have a report very, very soon that I think will absolutely shock the American people.
We have a report very, very soon that's going to absolutely shock the American people.
It should, about the lapses and lags in the protection that was afforded that day. And
there you go. There you go. Talking about the lapses in security coverage on July 13th that enabled Thomas Crooks to shoot Trump in the head. This is, I mean, frankly, this is information we all should have. I'm astonished by the notion of this Senate, which is obviously Democrat-leaning, pushing this forward so close to the election, because it obviously makes Trump sympathetic and makes the Biden administration and by extension the Harris administration look incompetent, if not utterly corrupt and evil. So he said that's going to be coming in the next few days. In the next few days, we're going to be hearing about this. In the next few days, we'll be hearing. As well we should. As well we should. I think that was what I wanted to cover on that. So I wanted to share that with you. Just because I was afraid I forget about it. But obviously when that report breaks, I'll call to your attention and we'll go through it. And we'll see exactly. I mean, we know there were lapses, but let's see, with respect to the coverage zones, the lack of communication, their inability to communicate with local police. I assume he's talking about, even more than that. So we'll see what comes up. We'll see what comes up. Jacob Castro does not believe it's a lone gunman. He's like, no, Joe, it's not a freaking lone gunman. All right. Next up. Hopefully you'll be able to hear this one. You will. A lot of people, with respect to the debate, coming back to the whole debate issue. I was talking about the cats, obviously, earlier. News story breaks today about a purported whistleblower who is going to expose Donald, is going to expose ABC News that they walked in there with a plan to lean heavily on the scales in favor of Kamala Harris.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards. Yep. But did you know we also print these? And those. And that.
What is that?
And definitely this. Okay, that's engraved, where we print with lasers. At Vistaprint, we print your brand on everything, so your customers can notice you, remember you, and fall in love with you. Like, really fall in love with you.
No.
At Vistaprint, if you need it, we print it, with 25% off for new customers at Vistaprint.com.
If you ever want to know what makes me feel like a boomer, that's it right there.
You probably know Vistaprint for business
Oh my God.
cards. Yep. But did you know we also print these? And those. And that. And definitely this.
Stop laughing at me.
That's Engraved, where we print with lasers. At Vistaprint, we print your brand on everything so your customers can notice you, remember you, and fall in love with you. Like, really fall in love with you.
How many?
At Vistaprint, if you need it, we print it with 25% off for new customers at
many
Vistaprint.com.
Tabs open for you guys. It's going to play again. I know it.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards.
Yep.
Not cool.
But did you know we also print these?
Not
and those.
cool.
And that.
Not cool.
And definitely this.
Not cool.
That's Engraved, where we print with lasers. At Vistaprint, we print your brand on everything so your customers can notice you, remember you, and fall in love with you. Like, really fall in love with you. At Vistaprint, if you need it, we print it with 25% off for new customers at Vistaprint.com.
What will be it? What will be it?
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards.
You probably know this
we also
commercial
print
by heart.
these and those. And that.
Yes, I'm looking for it.
And definitely this. Okay, that's Engraved, where we print with lasers. At Vistaprint, we print your brand on everything so your customers can notice you, remember you, and fall in love with you.
Right.
Like, really fall in love with you.
I'm
At
so
Vistaprint,
bad.
if you need it, we print
I'm
it
the
with
worst
25% off for new
streamer
customers at
ever.
Vistaprint.com.
I'm the worst streamer ever. Why am I so bad at my own job? Oh my God. Please help me. Wait, did it go away? I think it mercifully ended. Oh God. I appreciate the love and support, and I won't take it as mockery of like or pity money. Send me your pity money. Love of God, send me your.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards. Yep. But did you know we also print these and those and that? And definitely this.
Possible?
Okay, that's Engraved, where we print with lasers. At Vistaprint, we print your brand on everything so your customers can notice you, remember you.
I'm gonna
and
start
fall
going
in
after
love
this.
With you. Like,
I'm gonna start
really
going
fall
after
in love
this
with
like
you.
I'm playing like
At Vistaprint, if
that,
you need
that
it, we print
hammer
it
thing.
with
I
25%
don't
off
care.
for new
I'm
customers
taking
at
everything out.
Vistaprint.com.
I'm taking everything out. I'm gonna have to end the show like right after this because I'm shutting down tab after tab now. I'm not playing around. I'm not playing around. I'm not playing around. I'm shutting tabs. I'm not even looking what tab I'm shutting. I'm just shutting everything. Can't. Did I get it? Did I get it? Did I get it? Did I get it? I think I got it. I don't know how I got it. I don't know what I did that I got it, but I think I got it. Oh, for the love of God. Did I shut down the thing I needed? No, I have it. Okay. I think I fixed it. I'm so bad. No, I don't think I can find it. I don't even know what the heck. I have no idea what tab that was. Well, they do print with lasers, I guess. That was the face all the dogs were making when they were listening to Trump talk about the dogs being under attack in Springfield, Ohio. All right. Can we get to this thing now, for the love of God?
Right, what you said there about Charlottesville. Right. We don't know how she would have reacted, and then Trump. My reaction is I'm really concerned about what ABC did. When the refs put their finger on the scale, you got to throw out the score of the game. What would have happened in that debate had they challenged Harris and said, you know, that's not right, what you said there about Charlottesville. Right. We don't know how she would have reacted, and then Trump wouldn't have to spend all his time on the debate center. I think they did a real disservice to the voters of America when they did that, and they put in jeopardy the institutions of debate.
Well, and look, for the candidate on your side of the political aisle, it might have helped her. You know, I mean, if you want to get sharp, you have to rub up against something that will sharpen you. And it might have even helped her quiet down those in your party who still have so many questions about her policies.
And no one's ever questioned Kamala's dedication to rubbing up against things that'll help her. So it's weird. It's weird. But Mark Penn is urging ABC News to investigate claims that Kamala Harris is team allegedly received advance notice to debate questions. Posts have also surfaced that an alleged ABC whistleblower may soon release an affidavit alleging the Harris campaign was given sample questions and the moderators were instructed to fact-check Trump, but not Harris. No concrete evidence has surfaced yet, but the accusations are drawing intense scrutiny. So there you go. There you go. More on that is I had this here. Where are you? Yeah, this is what I wanted. I'll be Black Insurrectionist says, who supposedly follows back True Patriots. Does he follow me? Oh, he does. There you go. I'll be releasing an affidavit from an ABC whistleblower regarding the debate. I have just signed an NDA with the attorney of the whistleblower. The affidavit states how the Harris campaign was given sample questions, which were essentially the same questions that were given during the debate, and separate assurances of fact-checking Donald Trump and that she would not be fact-checked accordingly. The affidavit states several other factors that were built into the debate to give Kamala a significant advantage. I've seen and read the affidavit, and after the attorney blacks out the names of the whistleblower and other information that could dox the whistleblower, I will release the full affidavit. I'll be releasing the affidavit before the weekend is out. I'm planning on sharing that over on Locals. This is Thursday night is my last show. I plan on sharing that over on Locals so we can see more about how the Democrats cheat at debates. It's pathetic. Pathetic. They're so pathetic. They're so pathetic. Thank you, Wrestler Town. I appreciate your support and your encouragement. So, perhaps that was part of the calculus that Trump had when today he announced that he will not accept Kamala Harris's request for a second debate. Which leads us to the obvious question. Should he? Is this a mistake by the Trump campaign to say we're not going for a round two? And I think that this is a little bit of a subjective call. I think it's a little bit of a subjective call, but I'm curious about your take. I want to get feedback from you guys on that. Well, I don't know who that guy is. I don't think that is the whistleblower. I don't know who that is. I think that's Mark Penn. Whoever that is. Whoever Mark Penn is. But I am curious about your take. Do you think he should do a second debate, or do you think it's strategically? And I know, look, let's deal with reality. I don't want this. I don't want to hear that you want a second debate, because we all want a second debate. Obviously. A debate, if he has another debate, it's golden entertainment. We all love that. We all love golden entertainment. Of course, we all want a second debate, but the question is it shrewd to have a second debate? Is it the right call to have a second debate, or is it the wrong call to have a second debate? Frank Nichols says, Joe, I'm 70. I'm king of the boomers. We accept you. We accept you. One of us. One of us. I'm not quite into the septuagenarian range, but dang. So that's my question. Do you think he should be doing a second debate? Do you think it'll hurt him more? Because obviously, let's face facts. When you reject the debate, the obvious claim that the left is going to be making is chicken, you're afraid, you're a coward, you're running away from Kamala, you're not a leader, you're too afraid of Kamala, you're too afraid of Kamala. And that might resonate with some folks. Can't deny that. So in rejecting a request for a second debate, you may be alienating some folks. Now, on the other hand, he's been saying right out of the gate, first words out of his mouth is only the loser asks for a follow-up, for a second bite at the apple. Winner never does. And that's true. The left realizes that. It's a sign of weakness. She could have scheduled in advance. No. She wanted a one and done. Then after it ended, she's like, no, give me another chance. So my question is, do you think that he's making a mistake and that he would be better served if he were to engage in round two? If he were to engage in round two and he doesn't mention Lake and Riley Act in round two, I'd be mad at him. So that's my question. Should he engage in round two? Yes or no? And my phone lines are open. 972-454-0703. 972-454-0703. I got like 30 minutes until I'm supposed to be over on Locals. Where on Locals, I'm going to be covering Fani Willis and watching her case against Trump die in Fulton County as Judge McAfee struck down another couple of charges that were raised against Trump earlier today. So, and I'm going to be going through that decision. I also plan on
call from
yesterday.
Nathan.
I know that.
To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Nathan.
What's up, Joe?
How are you? How are you?
So here's what I'm thinking. I think I was kind of, it's kind of like the way that you weren't sure how to take the whole cat eating the cats and dogs things last night. My initial impression was, I think it's a mistake not to do another debate, but I think you have to think about it from the 30,000 foot Donald Trump level, out of the deal mindset, which if any of us could do that, we'd probably be billionaires and president right now. So while I would like to see him do another debate, I would only like to see him have another debate if it was with non-mainstream media. Like I think Megyn Kelly actually volunteered.
Megyn Kelly volunteered.
And I think that would be phenomenal because she obviously, if for anybody who remembers Donald Trump and Megyn Kelly's history, she's definitely not in his camp. And I think she would be the most non-biased, non-mainstream media person to do it. However, I think if Trump came back and either said, let's do a non-mainstream media person like Megyn Kelly or even Fox News, then Kamala would say no. And then he would back out and he would look weak. Right now, he's saying, I won that debate and I'm not going to do another debate. I think he's in a stronger position here than if she were to say, I'm not going to do it on Fox, or I'm not going to do it with Megyn Kelly. And then he were to back out, he would look weaker in that scenario, I think. I don't know what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, that's I think you're making some great points here. When I was on with George Santos earlier, he was suggesting that debate should be you pull the names the moderator out of a hat. I'm like, I don't see the point to that. I was saying each side should pick one moderator, and the moderator you pick only gets to ask questions of the other candidates. Okay. So each side would basically have an opportunity to say, this is the moderator I want. And that moderator is going to be drilling her. And she'd be like, this is the moderator I want. And she's going to be drilling him. And basically, and that's how you actually get like a debate where try and pick some relatively neutral site if such a thing exists. And that way you sort of are left like that there's going to be balance. You know that the fireworks will be there, and that look, part of the point to a debate is to have their feet held to the fire, and Kamala's was purposefully not held to the fire. So that's. But
yeah,
as far as whether or not this is the right call, I'm going to hold off on that. I'll wait for a few more calls before I actually weigh in on that.
yeah. So one format that I think would be good is I don't know when the last time they did one like this, but I like a format where they do a debate and they have questions from. Maybe they have never done a debate with questions from an audience or a town hall. Maybe those are always
They have done
individual town halls.
They have done.
Maybe those
town
are just
halls,
separate.
Not this election cycle, but I remember them doing that certainly with Hillary Clinton. I remember like a guy with a red sweater getting up there and asking questions. And I remember SNL did like a pretty good spoof with a guy with a red sweater getting up there and asking questions. And so they have done, town hall debates have happened. Obviously not this election cycle. I don't remember it happening in 2020.
I know Sean Hannity did a town hall with Trump, but it was, Sean Hannity. So I don't really take it seriously. So
right.
I would like to see somebody, even if it's like a, Tucker or Megyn Kelly or somebody do a town hall with Trump, a legit town hall with people that aren't necessarily in Trump's camp. I think he would get a lot more out of that for independence than even doing another debate in any setting. So,
yeah,
but anyways,
I think town halls can be very effective. I think they can be very effective because it gives you an opportunity to do what you need to do without it being a rally, and it does have more of a feel to it of meeting the candidate rather than meeting their persona.
Yes. Yeah. But I'll jump off here, Joe, and let other people get their thoughts on. Yep.
Have a good night. Bye-bye. 972-454-0703 is the number to call if you want to. And basically the question is, should Donald Trump accept, was it wrong? Was it a mistake for him to reject the second debate?
Call from
Wellesley.
Wellesley.
Hey there, Joe.
How are you, brother?
How you doing?
Good.
Oh, I'm doing great. Hey, so I think he should do another debate.
Why?
Because what I notice is that he comes out looking like a victim in a way, because they attack him so much or they manipulate everything so much. In a way, he comes out to look like they're after him, basically. So even though he doesn't have that persona, and then it adds on because of everything that's gone on for the last few years, it just adds on that momentum. And it kind of gives him, I don't know if it's sympathetic, but it just gives him that, like everybody is after him, basically.
Is that a good look for a person advocating to become the leader? That he's sympathetic?
Not that he's sympathetic. I think that's the wrong term. I don't think, because
you're saying martyr him. He gets more martyr points.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because I mean that's what Harris is going for, is the sympathy or whatever. It's more of an emotional thing. You don't really want that. That doesn't seem to sell too well.
Right. I think she was aiming for I'm talking to you Americans. She spent a lot of time looking much more at the camera. When she didn't look at the moderators, I think, at all. She was either looking at Trump or looking at the camera. He spent the entire time looking at the moderators. It was actually a very different opposing styles that they chose, where he's addressing them. And it could be because the nature of the conversation, where he's under attack and she's in a friendly environment. So he's sort of like meeting his opponent and looking them in the eye, whereas she's trying to sell herself to America. And I think that some people may have seen that as, finally humanizing her a little bit. On the other hand, I think her tone was so off-putting. So many times her tone was so off-putting. It's like, I feel like you might know her a little better and like her less. It's just, there's something about her tone that's just very grating and patronizing, and just like, you're talking to me like I'm a 6-year-old. America's great, and we're gonna turn the page, and this America, make America good again, and we're gonna turn the page, and we can do it. It's like, what the hell? What the hell is happening here? Like, why are you talking to me like I'm a 7-year-old?
Yeah, no, exactly. Like you're prepping some people for a game or something. Some kids in high school.
Yeah,
we can do it. Yeah. No, it was pathetic.
So
the performance was pathetic.
But then I question. I'm like, I have to admit, that sometimes I'm just like, maybe I just don't understand how mass psyche works. I don't understand marketing, so maybe that stupid approach works. I mean, look, everyone's going to use whatever they feel is going to work for them. I'm sitting here trying to develop mass appeal as well. My approach is I'm just going to try and be as real with folks as possible. And if I'm having like some pathetic meltdown moment on stream, I'll be like, all right, this is part of human life, you know.
Yeah, like you just went through.
That's
with Vista.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah, where I'm just like, all right, it's like
it's happening, and oh well.
Yeah. So this is going down today. so this is part of today's stream. All right.
Yep. But that's actually, I think, for your stream, I mean, that makes you human,
right?
And that's nice.
Yeah. So, but like, and thank God that resonates with enough people that I can survive. But you know, she is so plastic, and I think they were working very hard. The main theme was turn the page, you know, which it's like, what are you turning the page from her? She's the one in power now. So I don't know if that's going to resonate or not, but then I recognize I don't really know what makes something resonate. I think I know what makes things resonate with people who have a brain, but I just don't know that that's necessarily the right strategy if you're trying to win a presidential election.
No,
my strategies are the appropriate ones for winning a presidential election, because I recognize that what he did with Katz is now the talk of the entire thing, and I wouldn't have gone to the cat route. I wouldn't have gone the cat route.
No, and that I would have never predicted that. I really wouldn't. That just, it blows me away that's what happened. You know.
Anyway, brother.
So yeah.
Let me. Hey. Thanks, Cole. Have a great night, my friend.
All right, you too. Bye.
972-454-0703. Nathan saying, "Old Town, Springfield, Ohio, with Tucker Megan." That would be great. That would be great. I actually, when I was scrolling through there, I saw a picture. I think it was on Benny's timeline of Tucker, Megan, and Harrison Butker. And yeah, that would be pretty awesome. If you need two people for a town hall.
Call from
Wrestler Town.
Wrestler Town.
Joe, I think it's a very smart move of him not to debate again.
Why?
And there's two reasons for it. The first is the lead up to the next debate. We're talking about what will the next debate be, but we've already seen already as they lead up, like, oh, he's a coward because he won't let us, you know, pour oil on him during the debate, or, you know,
right.
He insists we stand up, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And that will go on for weeks until the debate happens. And then the debate will be unfavorable again because Kamala won't agree to anything else. So she's going to say that Trump ran no matter what, that Trump ran away from the debate no matter what. So he might as well do it now in a position of strength and just say, you know what? No, she's pathetic. It's not going to work. Who cares? So I think it saves us weeks of annoyances, and it gives her less to attack on in the meantime, because that attack vector is done. She can't add to that vector anymore. The vector is just he's not doing it. He's cowardly that he's doing it, but she's not going to be able to add on to that.
Do you think perhaps, however, that this debate left an insufficiently good taste in people's mouths about Trump because he came off too hostile, too defensive, or whatever, and that having another debate would give him an opportunity to cleanse that palate?
I don't think it matters, because we have to assume that our debate will go just as this one is, because she's not going to agree to a fair debate anyway. So she's really just eliminating a variable by saying no more debates. Because would we all love to see, would it be smart for him to debate if we had a good, reasonable debate like, 20, 30 years ago, maybe? Yes. But that's not going to happen. So whether or not what you said would help, and it would, it's not going to happen either way, so it doesn't matter.
Fair enough. All right. Thank you, brother. Have a great night.
All right.
972-454-0703 is the number to call. The question is, was Trump making the right call? And I guess I can do this as a poll. If you think it was the right call in Rumble, if you think it was the right call for him to reject the debate, give me a 1. If you think he made a mistake in rejecting the second debate, give me a 2. 1 for yes, good call. 2 for no, that was a mistake.
Call from
Kimmy Hunt.
Kimmy Hunt.
Hi, Joe.
How are you?
I'm fine.
So what are your thoughts tonight?
Barnes says no debate. Trump made the right decision, and he has a good instinct on that.
Did he explain why?
Yeah, he did, but I was kind of doing other things while I was listening to his Bourbon with Barnes tonight, but he explains it tonight on his Bourbon with Barnes. I think it would be a good idea to debate her only if, like, Megyn Kelly, Joe Rogan, and maybe pull another independent, like Tim Pool, into it to be the moderators.
Mm-hmm.
Or even have RFK Jr. Well, she wouldn't go for RFK Jr. to be the moderator.
Right. He's, RFK Jr. obviously is not someone who's going to be deemed that independent.
Yeah, he's not going to be impartial, but Joe Rogan and Tim Pool both are independent. They're not Trump fans per se, but they try to be fair on their shows.
Right.
And Megyn Kelly, she has a lot of Democrats on her show. So somebody like that, even Pierce Morgan would be somebody to do.
It's an interesting call. Piers Morgan is an interesting call.
But it would either have to be like on Newsmax or just straight up a live stream on Rumble, YouTube, that kind of thing. You know, co-streaming on X like you guys do.
Right.
Something where it's streamed on all 3 of those
platforms.
But that would be interesting. But she would never. Something I want to bring up really quick, though.
Yep.
I noticed something today, and I listen, he accused her to her face of being a Marxist.
Mm-hmm.
In that debate.
And she never even said no.
She never responded to it. She didn't refute it.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that, what they say, it's the dog that's not barking.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Maybe that's his philosophy, is
that.
why he got so defensive, is that he's like, I need to refute it, otherwise it's deemed an admission. Like maybe that
right.
seems certainly to be his perspective on things, that when they're lying about me, I got to call them out, otherwise I'm admitting it's true. So
if somebody calls somebody an anti-Semite, usually they'll go, I'm not an anti-Semite.
Right.
Or somebody calls somebody a racist or a sexist or,
right.
anything like that. But if somebody called me a commie, I'd say, whoa,
Right.
But he called her a Marxist, and he said, your father was a Marxist professor of economics, and she said nothing.
Right. Yeah, it's true.
I found that big. All right, I'll let you go.
Have a good night, Kimmy. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Go for big guy. He shouldn't have done the first debate. Legitimize an anti-democratic coup. She needs him more than he needed her, and the same is still true. So the same is still true. Yeah. The truth is, he can generate audiences like that. Without her, she cannot. So it's a fair point. It's definitely a fair point. Thank you, Gopher. In addition, no more debates forces Kamala to appear on her own, which she's terrible at. Without Trump, there's a bad man to yell at her crutch. You're saying she looks better when she has him as a foil than if she has to go solo. Perhaps. I'm not sure. Not sure. That could be.
Call from
Sun Wukong.
Sun Wukong. How are you?
Shalom, Joe. Mindset.
Go Beseda. Huh?
Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. So anyhow, I think the question, people are kind of looking at it a little bit wrong.
Okay.
Everybody's got opinions on Trump already. Everybody already knows who he is and what he's about. And quite frankly, if you're not going to vote for him now, you're not going to freaking vote for him. So the question is not about whether or not it's going to expose Trump to more people or his ideas, because he's already a done deal. Facts don't care about feelings. The question is whether or not exposing Kamala Harris is actually going to be more of a boot, it's going to hurt her more. Unfortunately, it's another thing where Ben Shapiro is a bit more on the money in some analysis, where he says that an election is basically more of a referendum on the person you're voting against versus who you're voting for, essentially. So do people hate Trump enough, even with everything going on, to vote against him? Or can he paint Kamala Harris and expose her for being who she is with another debate? And if she can, round 2, fight.
Interesting. And obviously he's saying that it's just better to just let her die on the vine rather than giving her that PR pump.
Is it?
Well, I'm saying that's the implication. Assuming that's his thought process, that's the implication of his decision.
His thought process is like psychology of reaching out and saying, yeah, I want another debate, makes him look like a loser or makes him look like he's admitting defeat, which probably means, if I were to psychoanalyze and project, that he thinks he underperformed.
You think he thinks he underperformed? That's why.
Therefore, he doesn't want to be the person to reach out and say, yeah, I'll debate again. Or
no, he'd be
wants to
accepting
paint
her
in such a
offer.
way.
How's he the one reaching out if she's the one who came 10 minutes after the debate and said, let's do round 2?
So that's part of it. So he realizes that he underperformed his work. And even so, he's using the psychology of saying, yeah, well, since I'm in the position of authority and I won, if I say, okay, I'll do it again, it's going to make me look a little bit weaker. And I think he feels a little bit like he didn't freaking do the knockout blow, because as you remember, he said about her on the golf course that she's so effing bad.
Right. Right.
You know? So it should be like this second debate. This is the second debate, regardless of who. It's him versus the deep state. Like, this second debate should have been worse than the first one with Joe, where Joe Biden beat COVID to death, and it was a complete massacre of him on the stage. It should have been just as bad, but it wasn't. She showed that she has about half a brain.
Right. And I'll tell you, I think that his debate skills, I think, are a little bit overrated. Because his success in debates that we've seen from him, really, like, if you think back to his biggest successes in debates, it was really
it's all zingers.
It was 2016 primaries where he had zingers, and he's like, mocking each of them for being short, slow, ugly, whatever it is, and that's where he had his success. He can't win using that against Kamala Harris. Because
also, keep in mind, he's also like a 78-year-old man who doesn't use drugs.
Right. And therefore
he's not going to be as sharp.
Oh, that's
I
what
mean, like, as you get older, you're not as sharp unless you're using your brain all day long.
Yeah.
You know?
And let's face it, also, over the last 8 years, he's been through a hell of a lot more than most people go through in a lifetime. So
yeah, that's true. He just got shot.
And he got shot. He's been tried 4 times. He's in 2 different civil actions and 3 different civil actions, and the fight to get down the ballot. I mean, he's literally. I mean, there's probably 10 different massive cases he's been involved in over the last 3 years. The litigation will kill you. Eli Whitney. remember Eli Whitney? You know the story?
Oh, vaguely.
All right. Well, I mean, Eli Whitney, everyone knows, invented the cotton gin. He did not make money on the cotton. The reason he didn't make money on the cotton gin, even though that invention completely transformed the South, and most people do not know this, had the unintended effect of entrenching the South in their pro-slavery position because it made cotton such a valuable commodity. The problem they had with cotton before he came along was that the seeds were so entrenched, it was impossible to actually, there was so much labor to remove the seeds from to make it a viable fabric that it was just, it was useless. It was terrible. I mean, so you just, most cotton was coming over from Great Britain. After, when Eli Whitney, he made a trip down south and he saw the cotton there, and he came up with the concept of the cotton gin, which is basically a roller with spikes on it. That you just run the cotton through it, and it just gleans off the the seeds out of the cotton, and it transformed. Everyone was like, "Oh my god!" And cotton in the South took off, and you would think that all these people would want to buy his cotton gin, and he would have made a fortune. He did not make any money on it. If anything, they say that he arguably lost money on it because it was so easy for people to steal his copyright, and they did. And other people would be selling it for far less than he was selling it. He got greedy in how much he was asking from Southerners for them to use his cotton gin, and said, I'm not going to sell it to you. I'm going to give you royalties, where I want 10% of your cotton trade if you use my cotton gin. And they were like, hell with that. 10%? Are you kidding me? That's we're going to pay you for this cotton gin. We're going to pay you tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on our, are you out of your mind? So they all were stealing his copyright, and he kept going to court, and he would go to court and fight and fight and fight and fight. And he spent tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, astonishing sums on attorneys until basically his patent ran out. And economists feel like if you count up his attorney's fees, he probably made no money on the cotton gin. So the point that they say it aged him beyond belief. It aged him like it just, all that litigation aged him beyond belief. And that's why I'm bringing up Eli Whitney, because ultimately, when you're embroiled in litigation after litigation after litigation, even as a plaintiff, it will age you. Here, he was a defendant trying to stay out of jail in one case after another, and having the entire world come after him and hate him, unlike Eli Whitney. And he, it's just a lot to take, especially when the guy's in his late 70s, to start getting embroiled in all these litigations. So yeah, he probably has lost a step. Anyone would. That's part of being human.
Yeah. I got a quick question I got a quick story for you before I get out of here. So back when I was in the 5th grade, right, we had a substitute teacher come in for whatever. I was in a Jewish day school, and they go through the class. It's like a mixed group class. So it's like a small Jewish community. I grew up in Richmond, Virginia. So, like, the teacher comes in, she goes through all the class, says, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? Right? And a girl that was in the back of my class, she said, I want to be president. She's like, oh, yeah, that's right. You can do it if you want to. A girl can be president. You just work hard and you follow your dreams and you do the right thing. And one day you can be president if you work hard. Oh,
and her name, and that little girl was me.
No.
Oh, damn it.
3 months.
Damn it.
No, so check it out. That confused. That kind of triggered me a little bit. I was like, hang on a second. A girl being president? Like, why on earth would a girl be president? Like, I mean, I started thinking, we had studied civics. I'm like, I mean, it doesn't say you have to be a guy, so I guess so. And it got me thinking. I thought about it for like 2 days. Like, maybe there's a type of person who becomes president. Well, 2 days later, I'm with my dad in the car, and like, we're driving home from school. And I asked him, Dad, is there a type of person who becomes president? And as he kind of looks up starts to think a little bit. He's like, he's someone who'd probably be good at business. He's a president running for office. He'd probably have to be hella arrogant. And then he kind of
probably have to be what?
Exasperated.
Oh wait, what'd you say? Yeah, probably have to be what?
He'd have to be very good at business.
Yeah.
He'd have to be extremely arrogant, just a ball geyser.
Mm-hmm.
And then he looks up and disgust comes over his face. He's like, oh, God, probably someone like Donald Trump, you know? But anyway, like, as it turned out, I freaking cringed too, because I couldn't stand him either. But, like, he becomes president in 2017, and just watching him go through everything he went through, and, like, seeing all the work that he did and how earnest he was, like, he turned a guy who hated him into a guy who loved him.
There you
know?
go. There you go. Let me grab a couple more quotes before I gotta get out of here, brother.
All right. Have a good night, man.
Thank you so much. Great story. Take care, brother. All right. Who do I have here? I saw one number that I was trying to get through here over and over. It actually was two numbers. So I don't know which of them to pick. All right. Well, 972-454 was.
Call from
Vance.
Hey, Joe. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you, Peter?
Doing good.
All right.
Trump doing another debate? I'm with no. Don't do another debate.
Why not? In 60 seconds or less.
60 seconds or less.
Mm-hmm.
The Fox polling that we just saw the other night, the live polling that they did.
Yep.
The independents were tracking with him on crime, economy, and border. The current polling has the undecided down around 2%, 2 or 3% of undecided. What is he gaining from doing another debate? He doesn't gain anything.
I like it.
He has to do a get out the vote, activate the voters to go out and vote. That's now what he has to do.
I like
it's
it.
all about pulling in the people that he needs to win.
It's great.
Now it's just that game. Kamala would win in the other because she comes in.
Maybe she steals some
she's able to recover.
Yeah,
she's able to recover on border. We already seen her putting herself up in front of the border wall. Like, oh yeah, border is good. We've already seen her saying, I am the prosecutor. I just got a mailer from her. I'm a prosecutor. So she's trying to do the I'm good on crime.
Yeah.
And the economy is I'm just going to give away free shit.
Yeah.
So don't give her air. Don't expose her to your voters, because when you do a debate, that brings in everybody from both sides and you might get some people swapping.
Great point. Thank you so much, fans. Phenomenal points. Have a good night, brother.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. Undecided thought he won big. Well, that's. And what I was actually thinking is, given the current climate of our economy, it's not even about what undecided is thinking. It's not about necessarily winning the debate, rather than you might look worse and still win the debate. People think, oh, I like your perspective on this topic more than the other guy.
Call from
Bill.
60 seconds or less. Yes or no? Should he have? Don't go in the second debate.
Well, all right. So it's not that simple. I think he should go on the second debate, or the third debate, quite frankly. But as I DM'd you, I think he should do it on his terms, right? So we've lived by their terms for 2 debates, and this time he should do it on his terms. So my suggestion was Elon covers the debate like he's the host, but doesn't talk. And then he has a poll for 3 people, an independent, a Republican, and a Democrat. And we get to pick, and then they ask the questions, and then it's 50-50. So Twitter gets to ask, or X gets to ask 50% of the questions, and then 50% come from the moderators. So if he's going to do it again, that's the way he should do it. He shouldn't go by their terms anymore. That's my input.
So you want half the questions come from the audience, half to come from the moderator, and do it like on X.
Yes. Well, so what I would say is,
supposedly Elon announced he's going to be coming to X and that Kamala's invited to join. So
so I would say Elon can host it on X, but what I would say Elon should do is say, okay, I release all rights. So if you want to simulcast this on Fox and CNN and YouTube and whatever the heck, he should open it up to everybody to simulcast it, including people like yourself, so that there's no copyright rules, and let everybody see it. I think it would be amazing numbers, and it would be far higher than if he does it on some type of stupid mainstream media thing where, they get like 1 million views, whatever. I think that would be a blowout, and I think if it's unrestricted like that, she would fail, he would succeed, and I think it would be a win-win. But that should be the only way he does it. Otherwise, screw her. As the other people said, why is he going to do a debate when, he comes off seemingly to have won polling wise, not by a lot, but he nudged the numbers with like 1 point. And but otherwise, if he's going to do it, it should be a win for him. Otherwise, why do it?
let her come into adverse territory for the first time. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
All right. Thank you, brother. Have a good night. Take one more call. I got to get out of here because I promised I was going to head over to the locals after party. TikTok at Willfully Positivity posted video that he input debate transcript into ChatGPT and asked about ABC bias. Very interesting. I actually was going to share that video. I had it pulled up here. It was just kind of a little boring. But yeah, there was, and it was one of the things that I had to shut down when I had everything going nuts on me. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I was planning on talking. I'm gonna shut my phone down. I'm gonna shut down my Google Voice. So we're gonna put away the phone for a minute. I'm gonna share with you, in case you missed it, someone who made a joke out of Taylor Swift. I'm gonna do that over on Locals, I think. Yeah, on Locals, I'm gonna share with you guys a video that I wasn't really crazy about sharing on YouTube and Rumble anyway, which is just killing. I'm going to be talking, and when I shut down here, which is going to be in a couple moments, there's a Locals after party. The link is pinned in the chat. The link is in the description. You just click it and boom, head on over there. The Locals is goodlogic.locals.com, but the link to the particular stream I'm doing is pinned and in the description, both on Rumble and on YouTube. So I urge you all to join me over there. I am going to cover the utter failure of the left trying to use Swifties and Taylor Swift to move the needle, and share with you a pretty funny song that was created mocking her. And I'm also, in the bulk of the time, I'm going to be talking about Fani Willis's RICO action against Donald Trump and how that is going down in flames. In flames. So, en fuego. En fuego. En fuego. Arois. All right. Anyway, that is over on Locals. So that's where you want to be going. Now. Locals is to sign up at goodlogic.locals.com. First of all, please make sure you sub up over here. YouTube is killing me. And also on Rumble, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And come on over at goodlogic.locals.com, goodlogic.locals.com, where I share all my links over there. You get notifications. I knew I had this video here. This was the video. I did put this aside. This was the video that he was talking about, the ChatGPT video. We're not going to play that now. I thought it was a little boring. But yeah, head on over there. We'll laugh at Taylor Swift and what a loser she is, or at least really how the Democrats were losers and how desperately they managed to milk that moment, and the utter failure that was, as well as Fannie Willis's complete and total failure of her RICO action against Donald Trump. I have a lot of fun on over there, so make sure you head there, hit your like, you subscribe. I hope to be back Saturday night. Hopefully plan on being back here Saturday night. And tomorrow I'll probably be on Layback Law. So that's the story. I'm sticking to it. I thank you all for joining me. Did I miss any super chats or anything like that? It's possible I did. Put stakes up more eyes on October 1st. Okay. I will share with you my thoughts before I get on out of here. My thought about him rejecting the debate. At first I was like, I don't know about that call. The more I thought about it, the more I was like, he understands marketing better than I do. He gets it much better than I do. Much better than I do. I was probably wrong about the cats. I think I was probably wrong about the cats. And I do think that he just needed to hold serve. He just needed to hold serve. So, yeah, I don't think he has to do it. If you don't have to do it, why do it? Why expose yourself to looking tired or weak or perhaps slipping up on something that they're going to twist the wrong way? You know they're going to try and twist his words any way they can. So you have people who are trying to trip him up, and then however he answers it, they're going to try and twist it into something, a perversion of what he's actually saying. So why do that? Kimmy Joe said, I think they should go do a debate and post all the facts on a website, let people know where they can go before they get a chance to fact check them. That's not a bad thought also. So I end up saying, I don't think it would have been the end of the world if he did that second debate, but I'm deferring to him. I mean, he understands marketing more. And I do think that it's like he's not going to be training anyone on who he is. He's not. Everyone knows what Donald Trump is. Everyone knows who he is. Everybody knows. At the end of the day, why give her more screen time? Why give her more screen time? People don't like her already. And her policies sound stupid. So why give her more screen time? So I think the same way he skipped out on the primaries and said, I'm not debating the primaries. Let these losers pound each other into dust. Like, I'm done with this too. I'm done with the debates. You know who I am. You know what the situation is. Pound sand, Kamala. But I would say, if Kamala was sitting here, I would say to her, look, I don't like you. I don't think you're a good person. I think you're kind of cringy. Your policies are self-destructive for this country. But I would tell you, even you, Kamala, don't eat lab meat. You don't want lab meat. It's not for you. It's not meant for humans. And while some may question your humanity versus whether or not you're some sort of weirdly aging plastic, don't eat the lab meat. And most importantly, do not eat the bugs. Just don't do it. Don't do it. That's my show, and I'm sticking to it. I thank you all for joining me. I'll see you over in Locals in roughly 5 minutes once I set the stream over there. Locals, like I said, is free. It's a $5 monthly. If you can't afford the $5 a month, it's meant as a museum charge. Hit me up, and I'll try and take care of you. Hit me up, and I'll try and take care of you because I don't want anyone kept out. I'm not trying to keep price people out. I share a code all the time with people. More than happy to do it. See you there on Locals. Have a good night. Godspeed.